Hello everyone, in this video today we're going to be taking a look at an article from GQ that was published on May 9th, written by Mari Yurihara, How Free Speech Warriors Mainstream White Supremacists. Now what gets me about an article like this in GQ, okay, which GQ stands for Gentleman's Quarterly, meaning that GQ is supposed to be a gentleman's magazine on fashion, style, things like that. That was its primary focus at one time. It was non-political. Now it's become this leftist shit rag who hired Keith Olbermann, who was producing videos from his mom's basement for them, and they ended up firing him. But I mean, this is such ridiculous shit. I mean, it's not even funny. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually leave the link for Mari Yurihara's work on GQ, because some of these are priceless, and I suggest you go and read them, because it just goes to show that this bitch is like Britney meltdown Louisiana cray cray. I mean, like, the bitch crazy. Okay, I mean, because look at her latest one here is the one that we're covering, the How Free Speech Warriors Mainstream White Supremacists. Then you got her fluff piece here about the guide to shopping and eating in hot springs in Tokyo. Then look at that. Before that, the sliming of David Hogg and Emma Gonzalez. Okay, so calling them out for their bullshit is sliming them. The free speech grifters, where she basically like says that Bill Burr fucking destroyed Bill Maher, or whatever Burr's name is, okay, on political correctness, and that political correctness isn't destroying, shit. Then she's got her, perpetual foreigners, identity politics. And then, I mean, you look at this, it's all fucking fluff shit. And then she's get her fucking couple hit pieces. So I'm going to leave that in the description so you guys can check it out. But what gets me about her is it's not like, actually, I think it's like, she actually has the audacity to rewrite recent history to push a narrative that the idea of free speech is what created this mainstreamed white supremacist movement, or white supremacy. When did far-right ideology seep into our public disclosure? Mari Yurihara on how the most ardent defenders of free speech allowed fringe beliefs to go unchallenged. No, that's the whole point of free speech, so that you can challenge them, you stupid bitch. As you can tell, I read into this article before, starting this video. And the thing I'm going to say right now is this bitch is long-winded. She's crazy, she's delusional, and she's long-winded. Let's get into this here, because, I mean, for her to actually say that it's free speech's fault that we have white supremacists is fucked up. Last month, suit and tie white supremacist Jared Taylor, founder of the race realism rag American Renaissance, was scheduled to appear at the University of Alabama for the talk Diversity, Is It Good for America? His sponsor, Student for America First, promoted it with a tweet including the hashtag #DefendTheFirst. As it also happened, no free speech showdown took place. The event was canceled a few days later after the group's faculty advisor stepped down, rendering the group inactive. Yeah, so basically, alright, the faculty advisor, like a little bitch who doesn't like free speech, decided, well, if I walk away, they can't have it. So here you are, and by your tone of this, you're saying, well, this is a good thing that happened. And the funny thing is, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Which is why the left, the cultural Marxist left, which this bitch tries to claim that cultural Marxism is a fucking conspiracy theory. I kid you not. It's a matter of historical fact, but, hey. We'll call history actual fact conspiracy theory, and we'll just hope people are too stupid to not go check for themselves, or, or it could be an and, not necessarily an or, this bitch is just too stupid to do the research herself. As debates about the First Amendment have crowded op-ed sections, I was reminded of one thing that sprang up in my hometown in 1993. South Hadley, Massachusetts, population 17,000, is generally a quiet town, most notably home to Mount Holyoke College, a picturesque New England campus with Gothic-style architecture set off by trees that turn brilliant orange, red, and yellow come autumn. When I was 12, a clash over free speech erupted over, of all things, co-ed naked t-shirts, the crude brand that was all the rage of the 90s. Okay. Here's the thing. She's talking about South Hadley, Massachusetts, a very liberal community. And she tries to say that it's filled with conservatives. Complete and total bullshit. Almost the whole state of Massachusetts is blue. Okay? We're talking like Blue Man Group. Blue. She's trying to portray this as like, oh, it's a conservative little town. And this bitch was 12. Well, you stupid bitch. I was considerably older at that point. I was an adult. I mean, mind you, I was 18. But I was a fucking adult when this happened. You weren't. And you know what? I actually paid attention to this. Because I thought it was friggin' hilarious what was going on with this. And for you to go, oh, that crude brand. Who are you to decide what is crude? Which goes to show your bias. And that you are literally going to, right here, you are literally going to prove, well, right here you are proving my point about feminist interpretation of co-ed naked. Okay? Because, I mean, you had co-ed naked pool, getting felt on the table, co-ed naked firefighting. Oh, shit, I knew that one and it just blanked out. Find them hot, leave them wet. Co-ed naked law enforcement, up against the wall and spread them. You know, and the list goes on and on. Okay, and for whatever reason, feminist women, because I actually knew a lot of women who thought co-ed naked was pretty friggin' cool. You know, and they wore them. But feminist women got offended by that shit even back then. So, kind of like you here. A high school senior, Jeffrey Pyle, wore the band version, co-ed naked band, Do It to the Rhythm, to gym class, and the teacher, who believed it would force students to think about sex, told him not to wear it again. Okay, before we go any further, you gotta love her wording on this, okay? She chose to word it that particular way to try to portray this as it was a conservative who got fucking upset, which is a complete and total misrepresentation, okay? Complete and total misrepresentation. Which, let's go on here, because you're going to see what this turns out to be, okay, just by what she's trying to say here, okay? As it so happened, Jeffrey's father, Christopher Pyle, was a professor of constitutional law at Mount Holyoke College, so the younger Pyle was well acquainted with the law on the matter. He told his teacher that under Tinker v. Des Moines, a 1969 decision in favor of students' right to wear black armbands to protest the Vietnam War, he had a constitutional right to wear his co-ed naked t-shirt. I don't get paid enough to listen to this crap, she retorted. Okay? That is not the response of a conservative. That's the response of a fucking triggered bitch feminist. See, when she worded it like this, who believed it would force students to think about sex, what that translates to is that the feminazi douchebag gym teacher, who was probably, because I don't remember, probably was, you know, the short-haired bull dyke psycho bitch feminazi type. She fucking did not like the fact of the shirt because in her mind, it would make boys think about having sex with girls. And this is what gets me. It's like, bitch, you do realize that they're checking out the same fucking teenage girls you are, that, you know, and getting horny like you are, all right? They don't need a fucking shirt to encourage them to think about sex. Did you need the fucking shirt to encourage you to fucking ogle the teenage girls, you dyke? Fuck no. So, this is what that was. This was a feminist fucking dyke. Upset. Not a conservative. And she tries to portray this as this was a fucking conservative. And it's disgusting. Because it's a complete revision of the fucking history, the facts of what happened. Pyle wore the t-shirt again, and his younger brother, Jonathan, jumped into the fray, setting off the tensions, meeting with the principal, newspaper editorials, a dress code change, and even more nose-thumbing t-shirts to test the contours of the new policy, including the unsettled co-ed naked censorship. They do it in South Hadley. Yeah, because it is fucking censorship, and it was brought on by a fucking cultural Marxist bitch like yourself, Maury. You stupid bitch. But see, you're trying to fucking, oh no, that was conservatives. That wasn't some fucking buzz-cut lesbian dyke fucking feminazi douchebag bitch. Oh, fuck no. That was some fucking ultra-conservative woman. My hairy fucking ass. I mean, come on now, this is disgusting. Each of which the school superintendent was called in to review. Oh, of course. Of course they were called in, he was called in to review because these people had to stick up their ass. And you get teachers, what gets me is teachers are overwhelmingly liberal. Even back in 93, all right, in my school, in New Hampshire, at the time, very libertarian state still, like conservative libertarian, like 1950s conservative libertarian movement type of libertarian. Like founding fathers libertarian, like, type of government, minarchist type of situation. Even back then, almost all the teachers in my school were fucking liberal. Like far, far fucking left. I can, on one hand, count all the teachers who weren't. And then, ironically, not one of them was a woman. Massachusetts, next state over. Fucking left. And this bitch is trying, oh, yeah, conservative bullshit. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is assisted by the American Civil Liberties Union. Pyle, along with his father and younger brother, took the school administration to court, eventually winning the state's public school students some of the broadest free speech protections in the country in the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts. Rightfully so, too. And the funny thing is this was not conservatives that were fucking trying to stifle free speech. You're trying to act like the left did this. No, this was the left with someone who was a free speech individual, who I would say is more of a libertarian than a fucking liberal. All right, a rarity there, but because he was teaching law, that's probably why he was in that community. The litigation ended up costing the town $80,000 for its refusal to comply with the state law on the matter, which didn't particularly endear the Pyles to the conservative-leaning local community. Bullshit. See, this is where she tries to say, oh, conservative-leaning local community. Bitch, I hate to break it to you, but there is pretty much no, even back then, no conservative-leaning fucking communities in Massachusetts. No. Not even. Don't even try. Okay? I think it pissed off everyone because they were like, well, we had to spend $80,000, okay? And they weren't necessarily pissed at the Pyle family. I'm sure they were pissed at the school and the teachers because you know what? Dealing in that situation, I mean, we were looking at it back then because, see, unlike you, I was an adult and I'm not coming from my feels over reels here. I remember this situation. Okay, and we looked at the fact of the school, and we didn't look at the piles for, them making the school spend the money. It was the school being stupid on enforcing a policy. And I remember the local news, okay, like out of Boston, and the papers out of Boston talking about this, okay? And even though they were liberal and left, they weren't like cultural Marxist, like teacher fucking left, okay? And they even called out the school on this shit for using the $80,000, and they were liberal. So don't try to make this sound like it was the conservative-leaning community was upset with them, and that this was the conservatives doing this, because that's a complete and total fucking lie. Because when you have a bull dyke butch lesbian fucking gym teacher, feminazi dyke, that's not conservative. That's cultural Marxist fucking left, like you. Which again, later on, this bitch tries to claim as a conspiracy theory. Cultural Marxism is a fucking conspiracy theory. It's a matter of fucking historical fact where it came from. The Frankfurt School, University of Frankfurt. Frankfurt. Go look it up, bitch. They're the ones who created it. They're the ones who fucking started the shit. They received threatening phone calls, and the leader of the school committee, which my father served on, informed Christopher Pyle that they were the most hated family in South Hadley. The Pyle sons enjoyed the process so much they both went on to become lawyers. Jeffrey now specializes in First Amendment litigation. Now this is what gets me. Okay? Her daddy, a liberal, clearly because created this fucking cultural Marxist leftist psychotic crazy bitch. I thought Asians, were raised to, only worry about work, but if they're raised in Massachusetts and they're Americanized, they're fucking leftist shitbag morons. Like this dumb bitch. Okay, just because your daddy said so, don't make it true. Oh my God, this is so funny. I mean, you're talking out your ass here. Oh, this is so ridiculous. As it happens when free speech protections are strengthened, views that run afoul of the local community end up safeguarded. Excuse me, 2. Last year, the school superintendent of East Hampton, Massachusetts, affirmed a student's right to wear a Confederate flag sweatshirt despite local protest. Yeah, because free speech, bitch. Fuck you. And of course, it was in part Mario Savio and the 1960s Berkeley free speech movement, which protested anti-communist campus regulations on speech and political activities that paved the way for Jared Taylor's of the American right. Wow. So the bitch in the same sentence basically was like, oh, look at poor persecuted fucking communism, okay? But look it's hate speech. Fucking, hate speech. Jared Taylor. At the end of the first half of the sentence is like, defending fucking communists. And then the bitch goes and in the same sentence goes crazy and brings up Jared Taylor. Censorship is wrong regardless if it was the fucking communists, which, let's put your cultural Marxist communist, fucking crap out, bitch. So that in sunlight being the best disinfectant, okay? And we'll do the same with Jared Taylor. But see, you don't want that because you people like you do not want others to have free speech, because when it comes to you cultural Marxist leftist types, you can't counter what others say because you go from feels over reals. All right? And for when you have that, you have to try to censor people. In response to my recent article on free speech, some readers objected to my criticism of deplatforming invited speakers, the practice of shutting down a talk, particularly by shouting down a speaker, pulling a fire alarm, or enacting violence. What about Richard Spencer, one asked, on the sig-heiling, ethno-state boosting Jared Taylor Jr., who recently abandoned his own college tour after skirmishes with Antifa? Didn't deplatforming work in shutting him down? Well, I mean, here's what's messed up. She's literally talking about, well, I criticize the deplatforming, but this bitch wants people deplatformed. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be like, oh, well, see, I criticize deplatforming, but I'm basically calling for it here. It's fucked up. You can't, it doesn't work like that. It's a thorny question. How does one uphold free speech principles and also counter the worldwide surge from Charlottesville to Warsaw? Now, bitch, Warsaw was not a white supremacist thing because you have fucking a white nation. An ethnos, what amounts to an ethno state, celebrating their independence does not make it a white supremacist fucking thing. Holy shit. There was like a small little fucking group of cock-knocking fucking idiots. And you're trying to portray all of Warsaw as this, you know, the whole Polish independence celebration as white supremacy. You are a dishonest fucking bitch. Seriously, like completely fucking dishonest. Wow. I just want to go off on... I sound like I have fucking Tourette's right now. It is an increasingly relevant one, too. White supremacist propaganda at colleges, according to the ADL... Oh, fucking A. The liars of the ADL... increased by 258% between the fall of 2016 to the fall of 2017, which college Republicans like James Alsop and Nick Fuentes turning to the alt-right, the modern, internet-savvy incarnation of white supremacy. All right, number one, bitch. The ADL's 250 cases have been pretty much overwhelmingly debunked. Most of them, which I notice you're not bringing this up, okay, were proven to have been staged incidents. When you have a lot of them being staged incidents and they're counting them, and you're using that as fact, it goes to show that you should not be a reporter because you aren't going and checking your sources. I mean, I'm not a reporter. I'm providing commentary. That's the difference. All right, and anyone can go and Google that bullshit about the ADL. I wouldn't use Google because they rig shit. But Bing or DuckDuckGo or something like that. All right, and James Alsop is a white identitarian. He's not alt-right. I mean, he's not like the alt-right you're trying to claim. Nick Fuentes, no, not really. And the alt-right, the internet's, I love that. So what you're saying is because they kicked your asses in memeing, along with anyone right of Karl Marx. Yeah, they're internet savvy. I guess you guys aren't. While many European countries enacted hate speech laws post-World War II, America is unique in that it did not. Because of the Constitution, bitch, and the fact that there is no such thing as hate speech? Could that be why? Wow. Those who believe the U.S. should enact similar laws would be wise to consider their potential applications, particularly with a president who expresses admiration for the world's most notorious authoritarians. Oh, really? What authoritarians has the president fucking expressed admiration for? You mean the ones that he's fucking got to bow down and kiss his ass? Like, you know, fucking little Tin Pot fucking Kim Jong-il, you know, roly-poly little bitch over there who went, oh, I got nuclear button. And Trump went, motherfucker, I got a bigger one. You mean that? Because he didn't exactly show any admiration for them. Oh, you're talking about Putin. When at one point he said during the campaign, yeah, I got respect for him, you know, never had a problem with him. I hope to work with him on shit. Oh, is that your grasping fucking straws? With your failed Russian narrative, you fucking halfwits? Oh, Jesus. This is pathetic. In Texas, a sheriff tried to arrest a woman for her "Fuck Trump" bumper sticker. How is this remotely related? This is... Okay. This is what I love about her. okay, to try to continue pushing this conservative bullshit of like, oh, well, it's censorship, because she tried to claim her community, which was not conservative, was conservative. She tried to claim a lesbian bull dyke fucking gym teacher was upset because she was conservative. Now, she throws this fucking totally unrelated thing about the fuck Trump bumper sticker in on this. Huh. Because you're grasping at straws, bitch. And then because Rudolph Giuliani is now working with Trump on his legal defense, look at this. Rudolph Giuliani once attempted to stop the Million Man March in Harlem on the grounds it was hate speech rhetoric. Oh, well, because considering that they were literally chanting fucking racist shit, and it wasn't hate speech rhetoric, it was the fact of, all right, it was you had people gathering there that were being, pro-black, anti-anyone who wasn't black. Oh, and it was built on a false fucking narrative on top of that. Oh, kind of like Black Lives Matter. It's convenient how the left loves to pull this shit out of their ass like this and push false narratives. This is not to suggest that our free speech laws perfectly protect citizens, as any number of examples demonstrate, but that it would be even worse if there were legal recourse for punishing speech. And what gets me is when we have this overwhelming proof of the left censoring the right. Right here, the bitch pulls something out of her ass to try to claim that it's the right suppressing the left. The Intercept, Glenn Greenwald documented how EU hate speech laws are often used to suppress left point of view. From Europe, mind you. Which, the funny thing is Europe is far fucking left. I love how she pulls something out of her fucking ass here. Oh my god. To try to claim, oh, look at the censorship the right does. Uh-huh. Including the conviction of French activists wearing pro-Palestinian t-shirts and the arrest of a British Muslim teen for a Facebook post decrying soldiers in Afghanistan. From fucking years ago. We're talking years ago. Now the shoe's on the other fucking foot. And it was the warmongering left, okay, that did the arresting of the Muslim teen and the pro-Palestinian shit. So, fuck you. Curiously, none of these incidents was a cause for alarm among free speech warriors, but one recent incident was, which of course got to bring up Count Dankula, you delusional bitch. In Scotland, Mark Count Dankula Meechan was arrested and fined £800 for a YouTube video in which he taught a pug to mimic a Nazi salute to phrases such as "gas the Jews." Actually, no, "gas the Jews" got him riled up. It was Zig Heil that got him to fucking go and give me your paw. You fucking dumb bitch. You delusional fucking leftist, cultural Marxist, fucking cover-up artist. You stupid... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself with that. Oh, this bitch is crazy. His punishment drew outcry from right-wing personalities like Alex Jones, Paul Joseph Watson, and Lauren Southern, and classical liberals like Dave Rubin, host of the YouTube show The Rubin Report. It also got it from... Oh, what the... Ricky Gervais. I was about to say... The guy who picks on that fucking little mank fuck. But, yeah, Ricky Gervais, fucking liberal. A lot of liberals in the UK. But you see, you aren't bringing up the fact that these people fucking talked about this shit. Because it doesn't fit your narrative. I mean, hell, when Ricky Gervais is coming out in defense of him, your fucking shit is complete and totally destroyed. You dishonest, sleazy, scummy bitch. I mean, this is disgusting. And Rubin is more a libertarian, but okay. Bitch can't even get the fact right of what the dog fucking did zig high, raised his paw to. Oh, God. That she's talking like she's a fucking expert here. This lunacy will come to the U.S. too unless we get bolder in our fight against political correctness and the cultural Marxism that it feeds, tweeted Rubin. Wake up before it's too late. And he's right. A month later, neo-Nazis protected by 700 law enforcement officers held a white supremacist rally in Noonan, Georgia to celebrate Hitler's birthday. They concluded the night by burning an enormous swastika. Yeah, so a few inbred knuckle breathers in Georgia, inbred mouth-breathing knuckle draggers. Wow. A few things got skipped out of that. But yeah. But because a few of them went there to celebrate Hitler's birthday, white supremacy on a rise. You sensationalizing bitch. You dishonest, sensationalizing sleazebag. To sort through the old free speech, hate speech tension, again, no such thing as hate speech, I called up both extremism and freedom of speech experts, including Christopher Pyle, who still teaches at Mount Holyoke College. When I asked him if there was free speech crisis on campus, I expected at least a partial denunciation of left-wing outbursts, but his answer surprised me. Yeah, because you're a cultural Marxist and it doesn't... His fucking reply went against your whole fucking belief system. That's why. The First Amendment has never been stronger, he said. Pyle was neither oblivious to the cultural climate on today's campuses nor the sympathetic with the demands of social justice warriors, whom he deemed, along with their provocateurs, as silly. Yeah, because they're a fucking joke. More people think they have a right to not be offended today, but they're wrong, he said. Yeah, unlike you, bitch. Clearly you think that your right to not be offended trumps free speech. I mean, this is what your tonality is in this article. But you're like, but we can't get rid of free speech, but I don't want to be offended. Jesus fucking Christ, you're cray-cray, bitch. The First Amendment exists for ideas we hate. We don't need it for speech we like. As it so happened, he was teaching a course covering freedom of expression and invited me to sit on the classes the following week. The lessons of free speech on campus. In a sunny second-floor classroom, 14 fresh-faced undergrads clasping a 1,651-page constitutional law book tagged with colorful sticky notes, gathered in a circle for Professor Pyle's Civil Liberties class. With the Socratic 78-year-old Pyle prodding them with questions and hypotheticals, the class, as it turns jovial and sober, worked through legal precedents. In America, the Supreme Court has ruled it is legal to picket a military funeral with "God hates fags" signed so long as it's on public grounds. Snyder v. Phelps. How convenient you pull this one out. Talk about pushing a narrative. I'm sure this is one of the ones that was right up there at the top. Then yeah, okay, bitch. I'm sure you asked a leading question to get him to talk about that. Because it's, yeah. Because you look at this, okay? She conveniently goes from that to the next one. All right. Defy a local anti-bias ordinance by throwing a burning cross into a black family's backyard. RAV versus City of St. Paul. I love how, he just conveniently talked about all these fucking things when you're doing this article. Okay, sure, bitch. And famously organized a Nazi march through a town where thousands of Holocaust survivors resided. Skokie v. Illinois. Free speech takes a strong stomach, said Pyle at the end of one class. Hate speech is a great enthusiasm for those who teach critical social thought. It goes nowhere in courts, but everywhere in the court of public opinion. Which, thank you for pointing this out, because you're quoting him. You just kind of fucked yourself. See, your belief system, your far-left cultural Marxist crap, cannot deal with critical thought. Whether it's based on, critical thought involving society, critical thought involving, history, scientific fact, whatever. If there's critical thought involved, you guys can't have it. You can't have dissension. You can't have people with a differing opinion. You can't have any of that. This is not to suggest that Pyle found the cause of incendiary college campus crusades to be noble. Right-wing speakers take pleasure in baiting left-wing audiences into paroxysms of outrage, he said. Bullshit! Oh, that is such bullshit. Wanting to go fucking speak at Berkeley and saying, I will not be intimidated by you, is baiting them? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. That's baiting them. Because that's the only thing they've been really doing. And the right-wing speakers want to be paid for doing so in the name of free speech. That this is not civil discourse, which involves joining issues on issues that matter in ways that are civil and move the discussion towards constructive ends. We have very little civil discourse in America today. Very little? The left has been fucking spurging for over a year. Because they didn't get their bitch in office. That's very little civil discourse. They've been committing acts of violence. That's very little civil discourse. And the thing is so when an organization invites someone, according to Pyle, well, golly, they shouldn't be compensated for their time. Why, Sarge? That would be capitalistic. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, Pyle. What is your major malfunction? So, do I hear you saying that about left speakers going to these college campuses and getting paid? Do I? Probably not. I probably wouldn't hear that. Of course, public opinion, left or right, that certain types of speech are inimical to civil discourse doesn't necessarily translate into censorship. What? As a mountain of court cases demonstrates. Okay. So what she's basically trying to say here is that we can still limit it. There isn't anything that says that still wouldn't be free speech. I mean, that's kind of what we're getting here. Still, there are incidences when unruly audiences shut down speeches, particularly outside the U.S. Last March, on a campus farther north, protesters pulled a fire alarm, shutting down a talk at the Wilfrid Laurier University on Ontario by Faith Goldie, one of Canada's most prominent propagandists of the white genocide conspiracy theory. Excuse me. The white genocide conspiracy theory. When the left, and it's not a conspiracy theory, but when you literally look at what's going on, all right, and I'm a mutt, and I'm saying this, okay? I might present as white, but I'm a fucking mutt. I mean, I've got Canadian Indian, American Indian, German, Irish, Parisian French, Canadian French. Yeah, I'm a fucking mutt. And God only knows what else at the moment. I'm not going to sit here and go through, try to figure out everything. But yeah, I'm a mutt. And the thing is, I can even see that there is this hatred towards whites. And when you're literally saying that everything is your fault, that the patriarchy, white men, and you're telling whites that they shouldn't be having children, you're kind of trying to fucking fuck with the white race, or white people. Because I don't necessarily look at it as a race. I mean, I look at the human race, and then I look at ethnic background. I mean, my idea of ethnic background is what some people consider race. But anyways, so that's not a conspiracy theory. You keep calling shit complete bullshit and have no proof. Except for, the ADL. A completely discredited organization who called Andy fucking Worski a white fucking supremacist. Called that fucking little Portuguese a white supremacist. Yeah, okay, bitch. A foundational conceit of modern white supremacists, it theorizes that a powerful cabal of Jews is forcing assimilation of non-white populations, i.e. multiculturalism, to engineer the death of the white race. Actually, see, which you're going to, because you're trying to claim this, it's actually globalists, which not all of them are Jews, all right, that are, because they understand that these Western nations need to be broken down and have their populations diluted and their identities diluted in order to bring about globalism. It's more about that than the death of the white race, but they want to call the numbers of whites because it's the whites who stand up and say enough is enough, okay? Whites ended fucking slavery throughout the fucking world, all right, on the note of the Western world and a lot of other parts of it, all right? Whites were the ones to fucking give, women equal rights. Give non-whites equal fucking rights. Whites are the ones to do all those fucking things. They're the ones to say the system's fucked up, enough is enough. And you can't have people like that in an environment where you're trying to run the show, because these people will do, I don't know, what happened, over 200 years ago in the United States of America. They will stand up and go, fuck you, and they'll take up arms. And they can't have that. The subject of our talk was more gently formulated variations on the form: ethnocide, multiculturalism, and the European-Canadian identity. Yeah, because if you look, they are literally destroying what it is to be Canadian. I have Canadian family members, okay? Living in Canada, okay? Quebecois, And I don't hear you bitching about Quebecois with their pure laine, you dumb bitch, with their pure wool beliefs. I mean, that goes beyond the idea of white supremacy. That's like white French Canadian Quebecois supremacy. Don't hear you fucking bitching about it. And the funny thing is on that kind of side note, but all the people on the alt-right who are like sucking JF's dick thinking he speaks for them, he looks down his nose at all of you like he did his, little former Portuguese employer. Because you're not French Canadian. You're not, no pure Leon. Pure Leon. Leon. My French sucks, okay? But, yeah. So all you people thinking that he's speaking for you, dude, he thinks you are beneath him because you're not French fucking Canadian. All you fucking alt-right morons that believe that shit, you are morons for that. The host for the talk was Lindsay Shepard, a young graduate student who had her own brush with university politics and started a free speech club called the Laurier Society for Open Inquiry. Shepard, while no white nationalist herself, later stated that she wants to talk issues like being white neutrally, which apparently included presenting white supremacist conspiracy theories as worthy discourse at a major university. Oh my God! So, it's okay for black people to talk about and promote black race. It's okay for Asian people to do it. It's okay for Linda South Shore, okay, who's a fucking hypocritical bitch, who's talking about women's rights, who's been involved in forcing women to do shit because of Muslim because of Sharia law, tried to say, well, you're fucking property, and you have to let these men who are involved in the organization do this to you, okay? Literally caught on that shit. Okay, it's okay for her to promote, Islam and fucking Middle Eastern fucking shit. But white people? Oh, fuck no. That's racist. Do you hear the hypocrisy in that? Because, Mari, you're a fucking hypocrite, bitch. And here you are. You're going after Lindsay Shepard, trying to paint her as fucking, through implication, white supremacist. You disgusting fucking pig. You really are a disgusting fucking pig. What did that girl ever do to you? Oh, that's right. She recorded a leftist like yourself and expose the fucking hypocrisy of cultural fucking Marxism. So fuck you. Goldie, who was fired from right-wing rebel media after appearing on a podcast of neo-Nazi hub Daily Stormer during Charlottesville Unite the Right rally, has made a number of videos on the threat of multiculturalism to whites, such as the immigrant master race, and she has characterized immigrants as either low human capital leeching off the entitlement system or high IQ Ashkenazi Jews, Asians, and other edging whites out of higher education and jobs. Actually, that's not exactly how she put it. Because her big thing, all right, is she's more of a civic libertarian type, a civic conservative. And she has no problem. I mean, she worked for a fucking Jew. You dumb fuck. Okay, she has no problem. She's even said this with Jews and Asians. Okay? She's got a problem with third world immigration because you're not getting the best from the third world. You know, you don't generally get the best with immigration. It depends, but and it's the fact of you're cramming all these different groups and they're not having time to assimilate and become part of the culture, okay? And you're besides that, the groups you're bringing in, they are outbreeding your natural population. So you're bringing in large numbers and they're popping out kids left, right, and center. Do the math. That means whites are going to become a minority in their own fucking country. A Western country where whites created the culture of, whites created all the things that fucking you're taking for granted, bitch, in the Western world, for the most part. I mean, and as I said, I'm a fucking mutt. And I'm calling this shit out. I mean, this is disgusting. On the alt-right podcast Millennial Woes, she giggled and recited the white supremacist slogan, 14 words. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for our white children, adding, I don't see this as controversial. We want to survive. The host, laughing, responded, let's put it this way. Those 14 words used to be more controversial than they are nowadays. And the thing is, I don't see that as controversial. Because I believe every ethnic group has the right to exist. So because you're saying whites should have the right to exist, that's fucking racist. That's what you're saying here. I mean, I bet you got triggered about the whole it's okay to be white. Did you? Huh? Some activists have hailed shutting down speeches by the likes of Goldie and Spencer by force as victories. But if they are short-lived ones. To shut down a speaker who has been duly invited to campus makes the speaker a martyr or to political correctness. Yeah. Jeffrey Pyle, now a partner at Prince Lobel in Boston, said, when I called him up to talk about latter-day free speech controversies, it may feel good to shut down a speaker, same as to punch a Nazi. But you really can't punch a Nazi because there really aren't any real fucking Nazis anymore. Unless we're talking, they're like 90 or 100 years old. But at that point, you punch them, you're probably going to kill them. And you'd probably like to do that anyway, so whatever. But I don't think it's more effective it's a more effective strategy. Indeed, white supremacists have seized on free speech as an issue, shifting the focus away from inhumane nature of their reprehensible ideology to more sanitized conversations around individual rights. Now, here's the thing. A lot of what's being spoken is about whites being able to exist. Not necessarily, and I'm not saying all of it, because there is also a lot of the white supremacist shit going out there. I mean, just go look at the stupid shit that comes out of Christopher Cantwell's mouth. God, that fuckwit is a story in himself. But they try to confuse white identitarians with white supremacists. White identitarians are looking out for white interests, and this bitch is trying to conflate the two. And trying to conflate trying to make it sound like they're both the same leading up to this point, too. So, because people talk about white identity and white existence and speak out against the fact of, okay, blaming whites for the ills of everyone, they're white supremacists by your logic, clearly. So, I mean, here you are pushing this bullshit, and you think that it's going to fly. Just because you talk to a fucking lawyer on that went up against co-ed naked fucking censorship. Jesus Christ. Extremism experts agree with Pyle, often repeating, like Miriam Mayo, a senior research fellow at the ADL Center on Extremism. Oh God, fucking ADL, discredited fucking organization. The old refrain, the best way to fight hate speech is with better speech. Actually, no, that's not what the fucking saying is. It's the best way to fight bad speech is with better speech. Because there is no fucking thing with hate speech. If you're gonna say a quote, fucking say it right. Oh wait, that doesn't push your fucking narrative of hate speech. If you stifle their free speech, it adds fuel to their fire, said Timothy Zoll, a former neo-Nazi who now works for the Museum of Tolerance, with the caveat that, if extremists are given a platform, there needs to be a credible, knowledgeable speaker to make the counter-argument. Just don't ask Sargon of Akkad to go up against the alt-right, because he gets his ass handed to him every fucking time. Which is why he won't fucking debate them anymore. Yeah, Sarkuk the fuckwad. Don't ask him. Oh God. Christian Piccoloni, another former neo-Nazi and founder of the extremist disengagement organization Free Radicals, echoed this sentiment. Violence against ugly ideas is not an answer, he said, allowing that there were times that call for self-defense. These tactics are band-aids and often backfire and cause no real positive change. Yeah, even when the press is lying for you, you get caught on your fucking shit because we have a president right now that'll call you out for your fuckwit stuff like Antifa with Charlottesville. Oh, we were just the fucking innocent protesters who were victims. Yeah. And then you look at the fucking video footage and they're starting shit left and right, throwing bottles filled with cement and piss, trying to instigate shit. Because they didn't like what people said, so they wanted to commit violence. And to me, I got no problems with them speaking their vile fucking shit. Either side. I got a problem when one resorts to violence to try to stop the other. It's not self-defense. It means you're a fucking scumbag. These opinions are borne out in research. In their book, Why Civil Resistance Works, Maria Stefan and Erica Chenoweth found that nonviolent resistance is more than twice as effective as violent activism. They attributed this to nonviolent action attracting allies, thus bringing about change more quickly, while violence repelled potential allies. This is played out in liberal discourse, with the influential figures like The New Yorker, Jelani Cobb, Trevor Noah of The Daily Show, and Noam Chomsky sharply criticizing Antifa for furthering their opponents' political goals. Actually, the reason why they kind of did that is because they looked like fucking idiots after trying to claim that Antifa was just a bunch of innocent little protesters who don't do fucking shit because they thought Americans were too fucking stupid to see what Antifa's really like outside the United States besides here. It backfired and then they had to fucking backpedal. A Berkeley student, Malini Remeyer, wrote an op-ed titled How Violence Undermined the Berkeley Protest, in which she described a chaotic scene during which Syrian Muslim student was misidentified as a Nazi and then beaten with a rod. As Jeffrey Pyle put it, a woke mob is still a mob and can make mistakes. Well, here's the thing. The Berkeley protest, okay? Was this the Berkeley free speech event? Because there's been so many. I just want to be clear here because Oh, this is where the fucking fuckwit bashed someone with a lock? Yeah. Yeah, this was over Milo. Oh my god. You fucking crazy bitch. That was... Wow. The protests over a gay Jew married to a black man. A guy who takes black cock deep down his fucking throat. Holy fucking shit. You are crazy, bitch. There is also the position of public universities, which are legally required to host invited speakers to consider. Yeah, because they're public fucking property. Our tax dollars pay for it. You can't have them be echo chambers. Fucking wah. A plaintiff on behalf of Spencer successfully sued Auburn University for $29,000 for barring him from speaking there. The Westboro Baptist Church family, which is composed of a number of lawyers, make money by suing municipalities that ban their protests. Then don't ban their fucking protests and they won't make any fucking money. Because if they're getting paid out in a lawsuit, it's because you violated their fucking rights. Holy fucking shit. Is it really that complicated to figure out? Banning the speech of reprehensible figures can result in filling their coffers. For those seeking to counter the spread of white supremacist ideology, there are plenty of avenues with proven long-term results. In addition to disciplined nonviolent protests, which effectively market protesters as noble actors to a large audience, researchers have found that tactics for reducing bigotry include brief non-judgmental conversations. The left is going to do non-judgmental fucking conversations? You try to have a conversation with them, okay, and they call you a fucking Nazi. Some have theorized that Antifa's violent tactics have hastened the recent coming apart of the alt-right movement. No. It's fucking shipbricks like Cantwell and others fighting for fucking control and influence in the alt-right. So you got him doing what people he knows, fucking doxing people and fucking going, oh, Jew and all this other stupid shit. So don't even try to fucking play it like that. But it seems to have taken place in spite of their methods, not because of them, particularly after Americans witnessed hordes of angry young men demonstrating their free speech by screaming blood and soil and Jews will not replace us by torchlight the night before the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. Well, actually, the funny thing is they're still going pretty fucking strong, considering. I mean, they're still there a few thousand, but they're still strong. The unmasking and shaming of attendees, including the white supremacists who were caught on video brutally beating DeAndre Harris that followed, was effective enough to force many leaders underground and some to discuss rebranding the alt-right. Well, actually, you leave out the fact that DeAndre Harris started a fight. It went to them trying to stop the fight and then past that point of self-defense to assault. Because he is not a fucking victim. He started shit. And then he got assaulted for his trouble. Of course, the question remains why right-wing trolls are getting invites to campuses and on YouTube and in television shows in the first place. The forbidden message is an attractive message, said Jeffrey Pyle. Milo Yiannopoulos' career was launched and extended merely on his ability to trigger libs with outrageous and vapid pronouncements. Shepherd's Free Speech Club chooses their speakers based on whether or not they are polemical and topics are taboo, which would quantify any number of loonies, flat earthers, Holocaust deniers, and well, white supremacist conspiracy theorists. Oh, I love how you got to put loonies, flat earthers, Holocaust deniers, and well, white supremacist conspiracy theorists. I love how you're trying to just pull that out of your ass and group in white identitarians with white supremacists, which you've done here, and then you try to justify it later on. You literally are, I mean, you are so disgustingly dishonest, it's not even funny. After Goldie's Ontario event was shut down, She tweeted out a thank you to Shepard, calling her a bright light and deserving free speech icon amid the darkness of now oppresses Canada academic institutions. Yeah? Shepard posted because that's true. Shepard posted a YouTube video bidding goodbye to the left for being intolerant and pro-censorship. I found myself explaining the difference between white nationalism and white supremacism because there's a huge difference, Shepard said. The left wants to make it so that even if you acknowledge there's a difference, there's something dangerous about you. And she's right. Whether she's aware or not, Shepard seemed to be buying into a decades-long rebranding of white supremacists. Mayo says that the ADL classifies white nationalism as a subgroup of white supremacism, not a separate ideology. Bitch, you keep pulling all this shit out of ADL's ass. Okay? ADL has been proven discredited. Alright? Was it them or the Southern Poverty Law Center? I think it was the ADL that said that okay, doing the okay symbol was a sign of a white supremacist fucking sign. Alright? You are fucking delusional. Okay? There is a difference between white identitarian and white supremacy. White nationalism and white supremacy. There is a difference between white identitarianism and white supremacy. But see, you don't want to fucking acknowledge that because it totally destroys your fucking narrative then. 30 years ago, we used the same tact and referred to our movement as white pride or white separatists, said Piccoloni, who was once a leader in the skinhead group Hammerskin Nation, recounting that less palatable labels caused problems and turned off potential recruits. We would say we didn't hate anyone. We were just interested in white civil rights. That was our public face. But behind closed doors, we were virulently racist, anti-Semitic, and xenophobic. The whole notion of white nationalist or white realist or identitarian or alt-right are all based on the same racist, anti-Semitic, xenophobic ideas we held. It is a marketing tactic and people should not be fooled. So you have this guy Piccolini talking out of his fucking ass from personal experience, okay, trying to claim that one thing is totally fucking different. Oh, God, you are fucking dishonest here. I mean, this is all feels over reals fucking bullshit. And I wish I hadn't got into this, and I'm sorry that this video is over an hour long, and I hope that you stick with it. Because I feel like an idiot reading this as long as it is, but I felt people should know what the shit GQ's pulling here. Because, I mean, you got GQ trying to claim that free speech, okay, is what created the mainstreaming of white supremacy. I mean, this is disgusting. From the fringes of your television, the new media-savvy messengers of white supremacist ideology have been remarkably effective in hustling euphemisms into the lexicon, particularly in the mainstream conservative discourse. In discussing Donald Trump's dog whistles to the white supremacists, what dog whistles? So, proof, please, because he has not dog whistled them, you lying sack of fucking shit. Trump's dog whistles to white supremacists. Piccoloni surprised Megyn Kelly on Today when he told her that globalism and liberal media terms she used at Fox News were massaged versions of the global Jewish conspiracy and Jewish media. Oh, no, they're not. That's a complete and total fucking lie. And you know this because you're trying to lend credibility to liberal GQ. And globalism is literally globalism. Because, okay, so what you're trying to claim, bitch, is that the Bilderberg Group is fake. Because they're globalists. To which the Clintons have been there multiple fucking times. Obama's been there. A lot of people have been there. Trump hasn't. Huh. I love this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's Jew. Yeah, it's code for Jew. There are a lot of fucking non-Jews that are Bilderberg members. That are members of the steering community of the Bilderberg Group. You dishonest, disgusting fucking shitbags. You and Piccolini Maui, or Mari, whatever the fuck your name is. Holy shit. One of the newer additions is cultural Marxism, a term with a convoluted backstory tinged with anti-Semitism that is used by the radical right, including neo-Nazi site, the Daily Stormer, and Oslo mass murderers Anders Behring Breivik, who murdered 77 people as publicity for his manifesto. Oh, I love how you got to try to discredit cultural Marxism by bringing in unrelated fucking person. You're talking about the alt-right and you bring in Anders Behring Breivik. Wow. And bitch, if you did 5 minutes of research, being a reporter, I think you would understand that the birth of cultural Marxism happened in the 1920s at the University of Frankfurt, literally from an organization that was, named the something of Marxism. I'm thinking about doing a video on this, and then they renamed because of branding. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a matter of historical fact. I hate fucking people like you. I fucking hate people like you. I mean, because here you are, 77 people as publicity for his manifesto, which bemoaned the rise of cultural Marxism and multiculturalism in the West. Yeah, which causes tension. Identity politics causes tension. That's the whole fucking point of it. Because if you you can have, if you have an homogenous group, okay, on the note of, say, physical identity, like, say, an ethno-state like Japan. You can't do identity politics in an ethno-state like Japan. Or an ethno-state like Poland. Because your differences come down to the fact of the individual. And that can happen in a non-ethno-state as well. But it's easier to bring in the whole idea of identity politics into the mix when you have the diversity. Because you can go, oh, well, so-and-so, yeah, them over there, they've got more than you, and you can play off of that shit. But if you have, say, a predominantly white group, you can't do that. That's why Marxism failed in the former Soviet Union and then the former communist bloc. It's because they tried to play the us against them, and people were like, well, wait a minute. They're like, what the fuck? The only people that are, like, fucking us over are the communists, are the fucking people in the government. And they woke the fuck up. And the thing is, that being the case, the tactic had to be switched from the have versus the have-nots to the oppression Olympics fucking bullshit. I mean, that's exactly what it's come down to. And that's cultural Marxism in a fucking nutshell. It has since been adopted, perhaps unwittingly, by more mainstream figures like Dave Rubin, who is Jewish himself, and Jordan Peterson, who conflates the term with postmodernism, as well as the Daily Mail and the Daily Caller. No, he doesn't confuse them. He actually talks about cultural Marxism, and he talks about it being a product of postmodernism. You misquoting, misrepresenting, sleazy fucking douchebag. Okay, and Dave Rubin, oh, well, because he's Jewish, he shouldn't be believing in that shit because it's code word for Jew. No, he understands that it's not about the Jewish fucking shit. It's not the JQ fucking crap that you're trying to make it out to be. And I love this. And you try to say, well, who conflates it with the term postmodernism? Well, as long as the Daily Mail and the Daily Caller. Okay, because, Ben Shapiro, a fucking Jew, okay, he wouldn't call out that shit because, it's code word for fucking Jew. That's what you're trying to, enleaven there as well. They're both fucking Jews, so, they wouldn't talk about that they're fucking idiots. They conflate a term. They're too stupid to know. When Shapiro is a Ashkenazi Jew, okay, and he's a fucking attorney. And you're literally trying to play it like he's too fucking stupid to know what the fuck he's talking about. Wow. Jesus Christ, bitch, you are fucking delusional. Capitalizing on the fuzziness of their coded speech, the new right has spun this plausible deniability off on hosts who either aren't attuned to their underlying message or simply don't care. Take, for example, the Rubin Report, a YouTube show purportedly devoted to free speech and big ideas with more than 700,000 subscribers. Host Dave Rubin positioned himself as a free agent in the marketplace of ideas, seeking to establish a new center rooted in free speech logic and reason. Yeah, because he got sick of working for your fucking buddy Cenk Uygur, because I'm sure you fucking would love to suck that fat water buffalo's dick, wouldn't you? You fucking leftist bitch. Jesus Christ. Okay, he was... Fucking him and Cenk Uygur fucking were butting heads because Cenk Uygur was pulling the leftist shit, and Ruben's like, whoa, 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 fuck you, I ain't going that route. So why don't we be honest about shit here? To that end, he has invited on an eclectic, albeit right-leaning mix of guests, including mainstream public intellectuals like David Frum and Steven Pinker, but Ruben has made his antipathy for what he calls the regressive left and PC culture a common theme, and so on the more extreme ends of the spectrum. He really, if ever, brings on radical leftists. Because they would try to take over the show and push their fucking bullshit. Because they have? While Ruben frequently rails on identity politics, which he has called evil, because it is, he often invites on some of the most toxic practitioners of pro-Trump white identity politics. What? Pro-Trump... Trump was pro-America, you fucking idiots. Anti-open borders. Anti-fucking illegal immigration. Okay? About fucking border security and national security. Okay? And taking us out of... Jesus Christ. That's why people voted for Trump. Not because of white identity politics, you delusional bitch. Which Paul Joseph Watson doesn't push white identity politics. Okay? So I love this next thing. Like InfoWars Paul Joseph Watson, who recycle black and immigrant crime stories. No, he literally brings up new black and immigrant crime stories along with the actual numbers, like from, say, the FBI on the note of black crime numbers, that black crime statistics, I mean. Decry globalism and multiculturalism because they are bad, and portray white identity as under attack because it is. They are... Wow. I love how this is an Asian bitch, okay, who, because of being Asian, by the logic of the left, shouldn't be talking about this shit because she doesn't know she's Asian. She's literally proving the point of what they're saying about being white under attack. You've got an Asian attacking them for being white. This is fucking delusional, saying, oh, you're not under attack, but I'm attacking you in this article. The bitch is this is what I mean. This is what I mean about the bitch being cray-cray. This bitch is fucking 5 cans short of a 6-pack, a couple fries short of a Happy Meal, a few sandwiches short of a fucking picnic basket. There they are offered the same difference in audience as some of the country's leading public intellectuals. He's had on Sarkuk the fuckwad. You claiming that he's a leading public intellectual? Or are you claiming he was one of the white supremacists? Probably one of the white supremacists. Oh, you delusional bitch. Rubin has expressed skepticism that white supremacism is on the rise, such as in this March 2017 interview with far-right activist Lauren Southern. What portion of this do you actually think is real, he asked. Southern responded that white supremacism was a phenomenon so non-existent that desperate people had to create it, asserting that a Jewish organization was behind the Canadian Nazi Party because they wanted more hate crimes. You mean an actual statement of fact? That's an actual fact. That was a big fucking scandal in Canada that they tried to sweep under the rug, that the independent media blew up. If you did 5 minutes of fucking research, you dumb bitch, you would know that. I see the white ethno-state as super utopian, she said. It's a utopian idea, right? Rubin didn't challenge the notion. A couple months later, the Italian Coast Guard detained Southern along with identitarian activists who believe Europe should be for Europeans after they threw flares at Doctors Without Borders boat, which performed search and rescue missions for drowning refugees. Complete fucking lie right there. First off, what they were doing is they were, and this was documented, this is why Lauren Southern was there, they had documented them fucking picking up boats that weren't sinking. These weren't people that were drowning or anything, okay? What they did is they met up with the fucking boat. They transferred the fucking people, and they were bringing them in, and they tried to stop them, and this was her whole fucking Patreon fucking fiasco because of triggered little fucking leftists like you, okay? So why don't you report on the fucking facts? You sick, twisted fuck. Oh, well, they're there to save drowning refugees. Oh, really? Were they doing it at that time? No, they actually met with the boat. They physically transferred the people over. The boat went back to get more, and then they went to bring these people in to then come back and try to meet them again. That's what happened. But you don't want to talk about that. Later in the month, Milo Yiannopoulos appeared on the Rubin Report, downplaying the alt-right as mere mischief and fun, and asserting that the Jews do indeed control media and the banks. If there's a racial supremacist movement, it's Black Lives Matter, and it's very well funded, said Yiannopoulos, hinting at an anti-Semitic conspiracy that George Soros is behind the group. There's no white supremacist movement in the country. Actually, bitch, okay, this is the shit I'm talking. You are completely dishonest. First off, okay, he basically kind of was more like they were more of a fucking joke. The alt-right doesn't even like him. You try to claim he's part of the alt-right, but he's a fucking gay Jew who sucks black dick. Yet he's alt-fucking-right. Are you serious? And what he said is a matter of fact, because Ashkenazi Jews, okay, tend to be in media and banks, and it's due to the fact of genetics and IQ, in large part, because they do have an advantage having, a higher average IQ between in that particular group. And then next, you have Asians up there, then you have some other groups, and whites aren't even at the fucking top, but yet we're supposedly wanting to suppress everyone, and it's fucked up. And I mean, I say we because I'm classified as white by you fuckers. If I showed you my Canadian and American Indian heritage, you'd be like, but you look white, see, and you're straight cis male, so you're a white straight cis male. Fuck you. You toxic bitch. That's what you would do. And it's true. It was proven. They did follow the money, and George Soros has been funding Black Lives Matter, which is not an anti-Semitic conspiracy. And I love how you bring this up, because when it's convenient, George Soros, the very man who said on 60 Minutes he's not a Jew, and that he literally was sending Jews to the fucking concentration camps to get gassed, okay, is now all of a sudden a fucking Jew. Can't have it both ways. He says he's not a Jew, and he admitted that he was fucking sending people to, like, Auschwitz and shit to get gassed. On 60 fucking Minutes. Nice try. There's no white supremacist movement in this country, because there really isn't. You've got disenfranchised fuckwits for the most part. Like Cantwell. And he wants to lead them, and people are following him, which goes to show there's not the cream of the crop here. Beyond letting guests make dubious racially charged claims in a friendly format, Rubin has personally advocated for some as well. In February 2017, when several political figures characterized Yiannopoulos as a white supremacist, Rubin came to his defense, tweeting, "I know Milo, who have interviewed him several times, and have never heard him espouse a white supremacist view." Which, I love this, right here. It links to a BuzzFeed article that does not show any actual links to the alt-right. Okay? It's hilarious. Okay? It is so fucking hilarious. It's like Gamergate shit. The only evidence of the BuzzFeed thing is mostly like Gamergate fucking bullshit. It's fucking hilarious. Later that year, BuzzFeed News revealed. So they never heard him espouse white supremacist view, but yet Gamergate is white supremacy. Calling out feminists for their fucking bullshit is white supremacy now. Later that year, BuzzFeed News revealed that Yiannopoulos had secretly been working with a range of white supremacists, including staffers at the Daily Stormer and American Renaissance, to soft pedal their ideas in the mainstream. There's no proof of that, and the only fucking emails they showed, like I said, for the most part were like Gamergate and from him and Bannon and shit. In the year before he denied the very existence of a white supremacist movement on the Rubin Report, Yiannopoulos was emailing with some of its most notorious leaders and throwing up Nazi salutes with Richard Spencer in a Dallas bar the month after Mayo of the ADL told me that white supremacists would go to you. What? Bullshit. Where's the picture? If you, bitch, if you had any proof he was throwing up fucking shit like that, you'd have the picture of it in your fucking article right here. Fuck you. I call bullshit. Where's your proof? Oh, what did someone... It was someone told someone who told someone? Mayo of the ADL told me that white supremacists would go to Yiannopoulos' college visits to recruit students with hostility towards identity politics into more extreme ideology. Oh, yeah, because guys who are going to a talk by a half-Greek, half-Jew who sucks black dick are going to become fucking alt-right white nationalists. Oh, my fucking Lord. You and the ADL are some of the most dishonest fucking people out there. Last November, Rubin welcomed on Stefan Molyneux, a controversial far-right personality who has been identified as a cult leader by experts in the field. Oh, kind of like the same experts who claimed that Trump was fucking nuts without even talking to him. Expert in the field, spoken at men's rights conferences, and has a number of absurdly extremist views, including that homosexuality is a result of child abuse. In some cases it is. He said that about Milo. Holy fucking shit. Milo even said it about himself. It's because he was molested by a fucking dude. Kind of made him gay. He said this. Stefan Molyneux repeated it. Why don't you be honest here, you disgusting fucking vile person? Holy shit. You take shit out of context and then take that out of context shit out of context. I don't know how you can do that, but you've managed to. But he and Rubin mainly focused on one of his passions, scientific racism. When Rubin asked him about race and IQ, Molyneux looked to the camera, pitched all the episodes with scientists on his YouTube show, and then launched into a soft-spoken monologue ticking off the average IQ of various races and pinning rates of poverty and crime in poor black communities on genetics as settled science. Because, bitch, genetics and IQ has been a settled fucking science has genetic correlation as a matter of factual science. Okay, the fact that IQ... Let me start over, because you get me so fucking pissed on this. There is a fact that IQ and genetics are related. Going to the fact of ethnic background. Why do you think you have so many... Why do you think they're now discriminating against Asians? Because they're fucking taking up too many spots. That low IQ, other minorities that are lower IQ, I should be more accurately saying, should be getting by your cultural Marxist bullshit. Ashkenazi Jews. Genetic component. Average IQ. One of the highest out there. Asians up there too. Whites aren't even top of the list. You got a white talking about this. He's not trying to say that whites are the smartest. He's talking from actual fact. And here you are trying to make it sound like this is complete bullshit. Because you're trying to say that because there's an average IQ in a particular, say, ethnic group. A national ethnic group. That they're all like that? No. That's the median. That's the middle. That's the average. You are a dishonest fucking... Oh, wow. It's heartbreaking stuff, Molyneux said, softening the tone he uses on his own show, where he frequently says stuff like, screaming racism at people because blacks are collectively less intelligent is insane. It seemed peculiar that Rubin chose to cover the subject of race and IQ with a guest known for pushing a narrative about black criminality without bringing in an actual scientist. Rubin frequently speaks of the battle of ideas, but the interview was no battle. He nodded along with almost every questionable pronouncement Molyneux put forth. The video racked up almost 500,000 views. Bitch. He's actually cited the fucking science. He's actually provided fucking sources. Okay? People can go and invite him on and go up against him on this one. He'd be more than willing to do it, I'm sure. But see, you don't want to make it like that. Oh, because it's his responsibility to bring people on his show to question him. Are you fucking kidding me? This is such fucked up shit. And the whole thing of black criminality has more than just IQ. And Molyneux has said that. because he talks about the fact of a lack of a father in the household. He talks about a bunch of shit that affects this whole situation. But see, you don't want to fucking bring that fact up. Because if we bring up single-parent households and that being a contributing factor, it makes your fucking ideas look so fucked up and full of shit. In Politico, the article called "I Used to Be a Neo-Nazi, Charlottesville Terrifies Me," Zell wrote of how easy it is today for anyone with a smartphone to fall in a rabbit hole of watching hours of videos from more lightweight figures like alt-right YouTuber Paul Joseph Watson, who peddle the same racial paranoia without the overt Nazi ideology, feeding viewers their sick spin on the news. He's not alt-right, he's alt-light. Holy fucking shit. And he's got nothing against non-whites. He's got problems with, Islam. Why don't we be more accurate here? You fucking disgusting people. Right-wing YouTubers like Molyneux and Southern, which Molyneux is a libertarian, but okay, who recently appeared with duct tape over their mouths in a promotional video for a free speech event in London, don't sport tattoos or use the same kind of virulently racist language as old-school figures, but they toe the line. They're not fucking white supremacists. Holy fucking shit. Lauren Southern, Paul Joseph Watson, and so many others are also pushing gateway drug rhetoric and ideas, says Piccolini, who recognizes it from his days in the white power movement. This is dangerous because it's easy to agree with their veiled racism if you do not see it for what it is. Just because this idiot says it's racism does not make it racism. I'm not even fully white. Okay? If it was racist, I'd be one dumb fuck. And do I sound like a dumb fuck? Nope. Because I'd have to be to fall into that shit. Wow. In his days as a white supremacist propagandist, Zell used to visit white neighborhoods first to distribute incendiary anti-white pamphlets from the Nation of Islam, and then after instilling that fear, follow up a week later with his own vague propaganda. This has echoes in today's social media tactics of Southern, Watson, and Molyneux, who alternate between linking Black Lives Matter with crimes by black people unaffiliated with the movement and then hitting on the theme that white people are hated over and over. So wait a minute. You have Black Lives Matter, people like Telcom X, fucking calling for violence and stupid shit. Violence ensues. They call that out. And they're linking unaffiliated people with the movement. Are you fucking kidding me? The people committed violence because there was a call to violence from people within the group. To say that is not related goes to show that you're either a fucking moron or a sleazy, dishonest fuckwit. Holy shit. This is disgusting. A key driver behind Trump voters turned out to be anxiety over the perceived threat to their social position as whites, and the new right has proven adept in exploiting this fear. No, that's complete fucking bullshit. I didn't vote for Trump for those fucking reasons. No one I know voted for Trump for those fucking reasons. No one, if you look online, no one fucking, except for maybe the fringe alt-right, but you're trying to make it sound like everyone's like that. You are a fucking dishonest fuckwit. This is such fucking drivel. And I've wasted an hour and a half of my life. You know what? I think people get the idea here. I mean, I'm going to leave a link to the article. Actually, let's just fucking bust through this. Fuck this. I mean, this is ridiculous. They're all the same, said Zoll. They tend to copy one another and keep a tight control of their narrative. If not controlled media, I don't know what is. I don't believe a lot of these people are politically motivated. Oh, really? It wasn't the fact of they wanted to be out of the TPP? Oh, that wasn't political? They wanted out of fucking NAFTA? They wanted the Iran deal to be fucking pulled because we're paying fucking good money for a company to bend us over and fuck us up the ass? Oh, none of that was political? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you seriously fucking kidding me? But more so, I think they're financially motivated. They're making a lot of money. What? They voted for Trump because they weren't making money. Because, oh shit. There are, of course, both policy and flesh and blood implications for normalizing xenophobia and denying that white supremacism exists. So wait a minute. For normalizing xenophobia, so being fearful of an ideology that says I either have to convert or die is normalizing xenophobia when you try to point that out. Okay. It's really fucking twisted to say that, but alright. Despite the growing threat of white supremacist groups, the Trump administration renamed the Countering Violent Extremism program and the Department of Homeland Security to Countering Islamic Extremism and slashed funding. Yeah, considering we have terrorist attacks happening left, right, and center around the world and in, even in this country, okay. Last February, a member of the neo-Nazi Adam Waffen division murdered a gay Jewish 19-year-old student, but the ADLs count the number. By the ADLs count, the number of people killed by white supremacists doubled to 18 in 2017. So 18 deaths. You're trying to make it sound like this is fucking a major problem. You've got 18 deaths. Number one. Number two, the way the ADL works, I'm pretty sure like 16 or 17 of them were fucking bullshit. The FBI recorded a 2-year rise in hate crimes from 2015 and 2016 after decades of decline. Okay? And then there is the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, which has been executing warrantless raids, forcibly separating hundreds of immigrant children from their families and turning a blind eye to rampant sexual abuse in detention facilities. Okay. Where do I start with this? First off, the FBI's recorded hate crimes includes blacks, like the 3 teen blacks who took the white retarded guy, fucking screaming Black Lives Matter, fucking tried to scalp him and shit like that. Yeah, that's considered a hate crime. So do you realize that? Because that kind of fucks up your whole thing. Because it includes stuff like that. And then the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, they don't need to have a warrant. Because guess what? If you're not a citizen, you don't have a Fourth Amendment right protection if you're an illegal. Okay? You're not here legally, you don't get constitutional protections like that. Alright? And I love how you pull out the tear-jerking thing. You're forcibly separating hundreds of immigrant children from their families. Well, no. They're not being separated. They can go back with their fucking parents. And then when they're an adult, they can come here. They're fucking anchor baby American. This anchor baby bullshit's got to end. They're an American citizen. That don't mean they got to stay. Their parents, their legal fucking guardian. So if the legal guardian ain't allowed here, then the kid's got to go too. Sorry. Unless they want to give custody over to someone else. And this rampant sexual abuse in detention facilities. Oh, you mean the rampant abuse by, people that are there, not, staff and shit? Which should go to back up the fact that these aren't the best people? In a wrenching new NBC left documentary, Path to Radicalization, A Mother Turns to Hate, Billy Roper, who identifies as a non-white extinctionist, spoke to the newfound boldness of extremists under Trump. 2 years ago, when I would go to the white nationalist meeting, I would be the youngest in the room. Now it's just the opposite, said Roper. It's not a French movement anymore. There's a magnitude of difference between protecting an individual's legal right to free speech and taking the further step of uncritically promoting white supremacist propaganda in mainstream platforms. These are dog whistles made into megaphones. Everything to use a fucking dog whistle. And no, there isn't a difference. There is a magnitude difference between protecting an individual's legal right to free speech and taking the further step to uncritically promoting. You're trying to literally conflate protecting free speech with promoting white supremacist propaganda, and you're trying to claim it's dog whistles. Bitch, I bet you are a fucking dog. You'd probably be able to hear a fucking dog whistle. Even free speech enthusiasts, like the Piles, don't find speakers like Yiannopoulos to be worthy of an invite. That's their opinion. College campuses should have standards about who they invite. I don't think Milo has anything of value to say, said Jeffrey Pyle. He's a bigot, a troll, and a harasser. He's a bigot? Well, he sucks black dick, but okay. But if he's invited to campus, the proper and effective strategies are to shame people who invited him. Oh, so, all right. So we'll shame the people who invited him. That's trying to fucking censor him, but all right. So this fucking free speech attorney is just literally fucking, has literally just fucking went against his own fucking thing. Well, there's free speech, but we can shame people into fucking not exercising it. But disinfectant is the fucking, sunlight is the best disinfectant. This is such fucked up shit. Fuck you, Jeffrey. He's a bigot, a troll, and a harasser. But if he is invited to camp, I love that. But if he's invited to campus, shame people. When I visited Christopher Pyle in his office one morning, I asked him about a comment he had made to me implying that free speech doesn't necessarily improve culture. Not when jackasses do it, he said. For the vast majority of people, speech is expressive, not instrumental. It is used to please those for whom they agree, not persuade those for whom they don't. Bullshit. If that was the case, okay, you wouldn't have had the founding fathers be such proponents of free speech to where they said it's an inalienable right here in the Constitution. You cannot limit it. Fuck you. Because it's given to us by our Creator. Huh. That's funny. That's actual free speech. What you're talking about here is what the left wants, is to have an echo chamber. That's not free speech. An echo chamber is not free speech. What passes for debate is not civil discourse. It is the juvenile scoring of points in order to please one's partisans, not expand the circle of agreement. So what you're saying is beating someone at debate and not agreeing with them is juvenile scoring. Okay. Several years ago, he started a book on civil discourse, but then Bush started torturing people, and he turned his attention to the CIA, and after that, Citizens United versus FEC was decided. 200 pages of an unfinished book on civil discourse are sitting in a computer folder somewhere. Isn't it a relevant topic today? Pyle smiled. Not as pressing as torture and corporate money flooding politics. Wow. The work of creating a more perfect union is a messy endeavor. Which you people don't want to do. You want to destroy this fucking country. You want to destroy the things that it was built on. So shut the fuck up. The work of creating a more perfect union is a messy endeavor with the competing values often clashing and sometimes improving on one another. After all, when the First Amendment was adopted in 1791, not every American was afforded its liberties. It would take the civil rights movement to fulfill the promise of free speech more honestly. Actually, bullshit. If you want to get technical, because you're trying to imply the whole thing of blacks and that, the Civil War, the Civil War kind of fucking took care of that. So why don't you shut the fuck up? Because they had the constitutional rights, they had the right to free speech, they had the right. You actually had people become newspaper people. There was a woman in Chicago. Or was it Detroit? I think it was Chicago. A Republican black woman who had one of the first black newspaper there. Okay, made herself millions of dollars, made herself very rich. So yeah, she didn't have free speech. She couldn't do that then. Are you kidding me? You fucking idiot. And I'm sorry for sounding like I have Tourette's with this, and I'm almost through here, and I know I'm at 1 minute and 40. And I know people aren't going to watch the whole thing, but I'm still going to put it up. This is fucking ridiculous. 25 years ago, when the Pyles waged their free speech battle in Massachusetts courts, town members were enraged about what they perceived as wasting town money on an academic exercise. The offending matter was mere vulgar t-shirts, the victim non-existent. Yeah! That's what they were pissed about. They were pissed at the family. No, they were pissed at the fucking school district. You just basically fucking admitted that. Okay? You just basically admitted that the people there were fucking upset that the fucking school wasted $80,000 on that freaking incident. But you wait to admit that at the end of this book of an article because you know people aren't going to read it all the way through. You sleazy bitch. You sleazy fucking bitch. You want to debate me on any of this shit? I'll fucking debate you. I will fucking destroy you. Okay, I will take your fucking feels over reels, revisionist fucking shit here, and I will fucking beat you like a red-headed stepchild with it. And it's not the fact that you're a woman, okay? Because, hell, oh, wait, we're not supposed to hit a woman, but they're supposed to be equal. So, they want to get into the ring and box like Ali, you got to put both your hands behind your back. That right? Because that would only be fair and equal. And I mean that figuratively, of course. But freedom of expression doesn't always exist in a vacuum, absent from other ethical obligations. We live in a country where for hundreds of years some humans were counted as less human than others, the bloody cost of which has been laid bare at New Lynching Memorial in Montgomery, Alabama, its legacy found in the bodies riddled by Dylann Roof's bullets on the floor of Charleston's Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. Oh my god, now you're trying to compare a fucking little psychotic Dylann Roof, who wasn't even really a white fucking supremacist. Proven fact. Wow. As a lynching. You're trying to compare what he did to a fucking lynching. Holy fucking shit. That was not a fucking lynching. It was a fucking shooting. That precipice is never far off. It is easier than many of us would like to admit to fall into a rabbit hole of hate and dehumanization for our neighbors. And the internet has made that descent near effortless. Freedom of speech is not freedom from moral responsibility. And modern day pamphleteers of white supremacist propaganda, whether they believe the ideology or not, bear it. Oh, so wait a minute. So freedom of speech is not freedom from moral responsibility? No shit. But see, tell the left that, because all the shit that they're pushing with the white hate, oh wait, you can't be racist against whites because about the stupid fucking power dynamic that doesn't even follow the actual definition of what fucking racism is. If their blinkered fight for the alt-right's free speech, a battle rarely, if ever, waged by the same actors on behalf of liberals, okay, bullshit. Rubin, Shepard, and a number of college groups around the country seem to be both unable to make the vital distinction between protecting and promoting hateful ideology and unwilling to learn about it. Whoa. No. People want to go there, want them to go there and speak about it, so obviously they want to hear what those people have to say. So what you don't understand is a vital distinction between what you believe and what reality is are two different things. They seem to view white supremacist ideas pushed by social media trolls to be on the same plane as harmless offensiveness as co-ed naked t-shirts. No, you're the one who fucking tried to do this comparison, but alright. Inured with their real-world implications. Of course, they all have the right, at least in America, to give a platform without a heckler's veto or credible counterpoint to ethno-state propagandists and noxious conspiracy theorists who can smile and speak politely while peddling black crime stories and racist pseudoscience. Oh, so wait a minute. So you mean actually providing scientific, So what you're getting at here, I'm sorry, it's just, this bitch just got... I've done everything to restrain myself. Because I've seriously wanted to sound like I've had Tourette. Like, go all out Tourette's. Because what this bitch is trying to say is that stating facts about black crime, facts are stories. And talking about genetics and IQ is fucking racist. That's some fucked up shit. That's some real fucked up shit. Because if it was whites committing a large amount of crime, you know that this bitch would be fucking pulling that shit out. You know it just by this fucking shit, this bullshit fucking article. But why? In the name of civil discourse and individual rights would they want to? Because free speech is immutable. If you start limiting the free speech of one, then it's going to be someone else in the future, and then someone after that, and then someone after that, and then someone after that, until eventually you're fucking censored, which the cultural fucking Marxist globalist, once your fucking usefulness is done, will fucking just shut you the fuck up. Alright? They will find some way to silence you. Well, but it's some conspiracy theory. No, bitch, it isn't. Now, I've more than covered this well enough. All right, I apologize for the length of this video. I mean, it's over a minute and 45 seconds at this point. So, I'm just going to leave things here. And if you watch this all the way through, thank you very much. Okay, because this is something that needs to be covered. And if you don't, and you didn't make it this far, I don't know what to say, because you're not going to hear this anyways. But anyways, I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.